first thing we should do is test the accuracy of these muskets.
We really bring history alive, and we don't just kind of go into dusty old museums and tell, retell the history. We're really bringing it alive and sort of asking questions.
There are two important aspects, I would say. The shape, and then the gunpowder. My guess is that the gunpowder was introduced in the bottom, and by attaching this line where it is, it would automatically float vertically.
We go in and we take 6 objects from their collections, and we sort of discover something surprising or revealing about the objects, a story behind them. We might debunk a myth behind them or test something scientific about the object.
And the blunt one again.
And then in order to answer that, we often actually go off and do field tests, or we go to, labs or research institutes where they're conducting research that's related to the object or the history. So it's really interesting to kind of bring the history into the current day, and we really do that a lot with this series.
So I think the first thing we need to do is see what it looks like with 19 men on board. It's starting to look and feel pretty cramped already. You can feel us settling down quite low to the water, and the idea of going on a 3,600 mile voyage in this is pretty horrific.
It's the National Maritime Museum in Greenwich, London, and one of the objects is one of the most famous, and it's Horatio Nelson's jacket. And I knew that was a huge piece of history in Britain, and Trafalgar, which is the battle that he fell at, and the jacket actually has the bullet hole from Trafalgar. We do a sort of CSI death of Nelson to see whether he was deliberately shot or whether it was an accidental, kind of in the line of fire, just in the chaos of battle.
It's extraordinarily similar what's happened here. If you compare what happened with Nelson with what we've managed to recreate from the angles, from the distance and from the height.
Each episode is not just telling the story of 6 objects in a museum, and it's not just even telling the story of that one museum, it's telling the story of the fabric of that very region where the museum is.